Hey, Claudia, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, for executive session.
I don't know if you can hear me on this microphone on Facebook Live, but I call this meeting to order for the Bethany City Council meeting for October 15th. And I'd like to start by having us all rise for prayer and the flag salute. Mr. Palmer, will you lead us in the flag salute? And Mr. Goodwin, will you lead us in prayer?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Oh God, we thank you for this night. We thank you for everyone who has come out to be involved, to be engaged in the life of this city and its people for its good. And we just look forward to good days. We're thankful for changes and things that are happening. And we pray for wisdom and guidance that might be for the good of all the people of the city. And we thank you. In Jesus' name. Amen.
We have the swearing in of our new city manager. So please repeat after me this oath of office. I state your name.
I, Michael Brad Brown,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not knowingly receive,
and that I will not knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or any valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance of any act
for the performance or non-performance of any act
or duty pertaining to my office,
or duty pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear or confirm
I further swear or affirm
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
as council manager of the city of Bethany
as council manager of the city of Bethany
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Thank you, congratulations, and we're glad you're here.
It's impressive. You know, is that for sure? Have you updated?
And before the evening's over with, if you'd like all of council to sign this so you can frame it and hang it on your office wall, we can do that as well.
That would be great.
Okay, fantastic. Item 1 is the consent docket A through F. Do I have a motion for approval or any questions?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please cast your votes.
All approved. Palmer abstained.
Oh, sorry.
All approved.
Thank you very much. I don't abstain for anything.
Item 2 is consideration and possible approval of an interlocal agreement between the City of Bethany, City of War Acres, and the City of Yukon concerning the establishment of a joint administrative board and funding for a private nonprofit entity to manage the operations and programming for historical Route 66 district in the environs of the 39th Expressway between the eastern city limits of the City of War Acres and Frisco Road. I do have a few people here that would like to speak on this matter, so I wanted to give them each a couple minutes to do so. And we will start with Governor Stitt's, from Governor Stitt's transition team Fred Mendoza.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I'm honored to be here again, even though it was just a couple of weeks ago that I had that honor. But I'm especially excited about this proposal. I attended, I think, one of the initial meetings here at this facility when Lieutenant Governor Pennell was here. And, you know, obviously since that time, the governor being the lieutenant governor being the primary flag bearer for all things tourism and branding about the state of Oklahoma, he's taken a very personal interest in the opportunity that Route 66 gives to everybody along the trail. And I've made the comment recently that it seems that like forever the city of Oklahoma City, for whatever maybe good reasons, in my opinion, has failed to capitalize on that potential, that economic potential, that tourism potential. So I'm honored to read this letter from Lieutenant Governor Pennell, if I may. Mayor Westmoreland, I write to you today in support of the Route 66 Tri-City Commission and your efforts to revitalize Route 66 in the communities of Bethany, War Acres, and Yukon. The efforts put forth by your communities to protect and promote this vital piece of American history is to be commended and is of critical importance to Oklahoma's plans for the Mother Road. Since taking office as Lieutenant Governor and being named Secretary of Tourism and Branding, I have made revitalization of Route 66 in Oklahoma one of my top priorities. With more drivable miles of Route 66 than any other state in America, this iconic road is one of our state's strengths. Route 66 is already a key destination for tourists across the United States and the world, and presents a huge opportunity for Oklahoma to increase our tourism in the coming years. This past legislative session, Governor Stitt signed into law the Oklahoma Route 66 Centennial Commission Act into law. This law creates a commission that will plan Oklahoma's festivities in the lead up to the 2026 centennial celebration of Route 66. Additionally, we will hold the first ever Route 66 Stakeholders Convention December 3rd and 4th in Oklahoma City. I have pledged that we will do everything possible to make Oklahoma the leader in Route 66 tourism. I applaud the efforts of Bethany, War Acres, and Yukon to be a leader in the coordination of efforts to revitalize this centerpiece of your communities. I am excited about the creation of the Tri-City Commission and believe that your efforts will play a role in Oklahoma's prioritization of Route 66. I look forward to working together with Bethany, War Acres, and Yukon to further promote and highlight Route 66. Sincerely, Matt Pennell, Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of Tourism and Branding. And on a personal note, Mayor, you just got promoted. Mayor, we just had luncheon yesterday with the mayor. I think that's why I've got the governor on my mind. Mayor, you know, on a personal note, I spent a lot of years in the music industry, artist management, and country music. But before then and since then, I spent a lot of time with old rock and rollers. I worked with Paul McCartney, Chuck Berry, Bobby V, a lot of the British groups. And my point being that what I learned during that process is long after their big years were over, they were major stars in Europe. And I learned in that process that in Europe, to this day, one of the main destination points in this country is Route 66. It's a nostalgic trip, it's a real trip, but it's a very contemporary interest in that continent. So on top of the interest in this country, my personal experience, I know of that it has some very, very, I think, advantages as a international destination. And I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. We also have Pat Lewis, who wished to say something. He's our OG&E representative.
Well, I think you covered all the fine points, but we, OG&E, along with the City of Bethany, War Acres and Yukon started working on this particular project quite a few months ago, or maybe even a year ago. And that is why we chose Bethany to be the new place where we were gonna put the new LED lights. And anytime that cities can work together, municipalities can work together to take a iconic road like this and build upon this, then it's gonna be a win-win for everybody. So I would encourage you to continue the good work, and hopefully all of Highway 66 will have the new LED lights on it before long. Thank you.
Thank you. We also have our County Commissioner, Brian Mon.
Thank you for a chance to address you again, and congratulations to the new city manager. Look forward to working with you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
We have a joint jurisdiction here, and that this also is Oklahoma County District 2 that we're referring to, at least in good part. And I've been working with the Lieutenant Governor also, so not to repeat what Mr. Mendoza said, but to add to it, the Lieutenant Governor has worked on having a big fishing trail, which he is promoting. It's going to have some 200 locations across the state. Many of them are going to be populated around the Route 66 area, so you've got an anchor attraction to bring people there. If Route 66 wasn't the original initial attraction, it will certainly be the places that feature eateries and other places to stay, hopefully, that will be there for fishermen that are coming from all over to check out our fishing poles. In addition to that, he and I are working in particular on a music trails potential, where we've identified so many of our state's natural resources, which is of course our talent that has been native to our state, and it may even exceed the number of fishing poles we have. I'm not sure. There's a huge number of stars that hail from Oklahoma, and again, it ties with what Mr. Mendoza was saying with the Route 66 attraction and nostalgia, and so some of them are still living and many of them are past, but the memorializing of them to attract people from that era where Route 66 was born, it would also be included. So I just wanted to come and say we are working on that. I believe there will be a big announcement and lots of energy coming from those two endeavors. So I would encourage you to pursue every opportunity to take advantage of that as far as Bethany is concerned for your slice of Route 66. And I'd be happy to work with you in any way on behalf of the county to help make that more successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We also have one of our local business owners who happens to be this year's chamber president and the Main Street Merchants vice president, I believe, Lawrence Ross, that would like to address this topic.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Those titles are close enough. I've been to Chicago, and I've stood where it says the beginning of Route 66, and I've been to Santa Monica on the pier that says the end of Route 66. I live here in the middle of Route 66 and have worked with a number of businesses on 39th and talked to Mayor Mickley with the city of War Acres about how we make this a portion of Route 66 that people don't drive through, but they drive to. And the way that we can do that is by businesses like myself, we've been here 20 years now, to continue to work with city governments so that the speed and light-footedness of private enterprise can capitalize on these things. And the only way that we can do that sometimes and get these big asks to push through is when we have the support of the municipalities that we do business in. So I'm here to say, yes, please, let's have this occur so that my fellow business owners and the Northwest Chamber and the Bethany Main Street Association can consolidate and find that aligned self-interest and move our entire community forward, not just the businesses, but the people who live here, by increasing revenue, by getting some of the services that we need, and bringing into the community the people that we'd like to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any questions or a motion for approval?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
All approved.
Thank you. Exciting times. Item 3 is a proposed executive session. Consideration and possible action to enter into executive session for confidential communication with legal counsel regarding ADA compliant 19 DRS-07-28, 20K 166, Shirey versus City of Bethany, filed with the U.S. Department of Justice. Do I have a motion to enter executive session?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please cast your votes.
All approved.
Thank you. So council, city manager, and legal, join me in executive session.
Certainly.
We shall return. Is everybody? All right, no action was taken in executive session. Item 4 is update, discussion, and possible action concerning the water contamination water well efforts.
So I think the last meeting, you were left with, there were gonna be some tests done on the wells on the Stinchcomb property, to see, what we could do there. Some of those tests have come back. So far they're positive, but we're still awaiting about half the test, to determine how that looks.
Item 5 is citizens' opportunity to address the council on general topics related to city business or services. There's a 3-minute limit. No action may be taken on matters under this item. Is there anyone wishing to address the council this evening? Item 6.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our last interim city manager, Ken Smart.
Thank you. Since I will become a citizen next Tuesday, I wanted to take this opportunity to express my appreciation to the council and mayor for entrusting me with the position of acting city manager. I found the experience both gratifying and challenging. As a citizen, I had no idea how many complex issues that city deal with in just providing the basic services to its citizens. And I also want to express my sincere thanks to staff. It's been my honor and pleasure to work alongside them these last few months. I've found them to be loyal, capable, and hardworking. The citizens of Bethany can be proud of the men and women who make up the workforce in Bethany. I also want to congratulate the mayor and council on the 2 recent hires, Claudia Connor as attorney and Brett Brown as city manager. I believe they are both uniquely qualified to fill their respective roles. I think this is an exciting time to live in Bethany. I think with the vision and forward thinking that the mayor and council have set the stage for resurgence in Bethany with new developments in both housing and commercial enterprises. And I thank you all for your willingness to sacrifice and serve in this role. I will return to being just a citizen in Bethany next week, but I remain willing to help in any way that I can to achieve our city's goals. So thank you all for letting me serve our city in this role.
Thank you, Mr. Smart. You did a fantastic job too, by the way. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Paige Porter, and I'm here representing Division 23 Group, and I know that Councilor Knapp is going to talk later about this, but I just wanted to invite you all because we have one of our events coming up on October 26th. Thank you, Saturday, October 26th, and it is our 5K run, the Bethany Fall Classic, and we are making that the emphasis this year in community, and so we will have lots of runners, but we want to see our community out, meeting our neighbors and business people, meeting residents and residents meeting students, and we have the drum line going to be there from Putnam City West, and we've got lots of energy around it. And the event, the proceeds for it are going to Western Oaks Middle School Thanksgiving lunch that they have. So we feel like that we needed to bring those funds and put them right back into 23rd Street. So we just want to invite you all and thank you. And then Jeff, of course, please continue with what you're going to do. I'm sure it's much better. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else like to address the council? Item 6 is city attorney's report.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Item 7 is city manager's report.
Well, I just want to take a minute or two. I won't take up much time, but I just want to thank this council for the vote of faith that you put in me in hiring me as your city manager. I assure you, I will not let you down. To the rest of you, the council have talked about this, but I'm from Bethany. This is like coming home for me. I grew up in Bethany, went to Bethany High School, graduated from Southern Nazarene University. So as I go around this city, and every part of the city, I have a lot of memories, and just about every part of the city means a lot to me. So I'm very excited about being here. I've been here 1 week now. I started a week ago, and it's been a lot of information to take in. And I would just thank Ken Smart, because the transition, you're really making that easy to go from your brain over this to helping me out and making sure that I've hit the ground running. And I guarantee you, I've hit the ground running, and I will continue doing that. There's a lot of projects and things that I've identified this week and so now's the time to prioritize those and start the communication on those, and I'm excited about that. I've also want to look for ways to make sure, and I've emphasized this to the staff, it's real important that the staff and council have a way to exchange information, and that's very important. I'm looking at those processes to make sure that we have an adequate process in place to make sure that our communication flows smoothly. So I'm excited to be here again. I won't take up any more time, but I really appreciate it, and I'm excited about being here, and thank you very much.
Thank you. We're excited that you're here. Item 8 is mayor and council members' announcements, comments, and proposals. And this evening, let's start over with Mrs. Larson.
I just want to say welcome, Mr. Brown,
Thank you.
and look forward to working with you.
Mr. Hunter?
I'm Manny Vett. Thank you, Mr. Brown, for being our new city manager. We look forward to a long and fruitful tenure. Thanks everybody tonight for coming out as usual, and also to the staff for what they do every single day, but sometimes not getting any thanks for that. So,
Mr. Herron?
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing.
Mr. Knapp?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of quick things. Ken, thank you for your time served. Hopefully it didn't feel like time served, but time well spent. Brad, welcome aboard. I was saddened to hear of Eldon Lyon's death. He was across the street neighbor to a cousin of mine, lived in Ward 4 recently. And on a little lighter note, I did bring props for the Bethany Fall Classic. I think these are out in the lobby here at City Hall. Has some information about the 5K. You don't have to run, you don't have to walk. This is a community celebration. Come out and cheer with the drum line, have fun, get to see your neighbors, spend a little time watching the runners. There's some posters up in various places around town. And my last prop, and the coup de grace. If you run or walk, you get one of these. So you can sign up. These documents have a place to sign up on Facebook. So you can sign up to run or walk. And 5K is about 2.5 miles. Is that right?
It feels like 15. I did it last year, yeah.
Yeah, well, you made it. So I did not walk it last year either, but come on out and kind of celebrate. 23rd Street is brought to you by a number of sponsors, but kind of the key instigator is the Vision 23 group. So I'm a part of that, or I try to be when I can. So thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Palmer?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Brad, welcome. We're glad you're here. We're excited about the plan and the work that you can help us complete. I'd like to take a little time to congratulate the girls volleyball team from Bethany High School. They made it into the state tournament. And I would also like to congratulate the varsity boys football team, who dominantly defeated the Tuttle Tigers by 21-0. It was a good time was had by all, at least from Bethany. And I'd also like to assure the residents of Bethany that we're on our way. If you have any hesitation or any second thoughts about Bethany and how the plan is going to come out, or what's going to happen, or where we're going to go, rest assured, make those plans and be able to participate and put your roots in Bethany, because there's a lot of things that are going to happen. I'm excited about that. We've finally got a great team that we can rely on, and the staff and council can work together to really start hitting all these goals and achievements that we've been talking about for a long time. And with that, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Goodwin?
Thank you. Mr. Brown, welcome. As everyone has said, super glad to have you here, and alumnus of Southern Nazarene. It's very exciting. We'd like to take a second as well just to thank several people. Oftentimes you hear stories maybe where council has misstepped or where things are wrong, but hopefully there's some times where there's positive stories as well. And a couple Sundays ago, we had an issue with the sewer in Ward 2 and some of the repairs doing, and there was a contractor needed in questions. It was Sunday, and Mr. Smart was actually on vacation. He answered the call within 30 minutes while he was on vacation. Our Assistant City Manager, Hank Moore, responded as well quickly. Councilman Palmer were able to attend to that, what could be done that day, and then the next day, staff took up and finished the rest. So hopefully just a positive story. I want to thank the staff that was so quick to respond, even on a Sunday, and I know that's the case for the rest of the council as well. Really tried to do that and look forward to continuing improving on those types of things. I'd just like to remind you as well, Friday, October 25th is the Fall Festival downtown Bethany, and they're going to have a number of activities and things for kids and specials. So really, as you begin to plan your holiday shopping, even little things make a difference. Something you can get here and not order off Amazon, every little thing makes a difference, and I don't think that's a cliche thing. That really is the case. So as you begin to plan some of those expenses and things, plan for some ways to do that here in Bethany locally. And Friday, October 25th, come down to the Fall Festival from 4 to 8. Excellent.
Thank you. Mrs. Sandoval?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. I have a few things I'd like to mention. Again, thank you, Mr. Smart, for all that you've done and stepping in and being willing to take this challenge on, and you've done a great job, and we really appreciate it. And I'd also like to thank Brad for accepting the offer and being here. Rumor has it that I run city managers off, so whatever you do, don't let that happen. No, you're great. So we're so excited about what's going on, and our greatest days are ahead of us for sure, and I really feel like we're gaining traction. Again, I would like Vice Mayor Knapp mentioned, the prayers go out to the Lyon family, or Mayor Eldon Lyon, who passed away recently. I had the privilege of meeting him on a couple occasions and spending some time with him and getting to hear some stories, which are always interesting. And so we just pray for the Lyon family. He gave a lot to this community, to the point that we named our largest park after Mr. Mayor Eldon Lyon. So that's a really cool thing. Also, I'd like to mention that the 23rd Street 5K has been mentioned a couple times. I too would like to encourage everybody to go out and participate in that. I was really trying not to participate in that this year because I did last year, and then Hank Moore started talking trash and challenging me, and I just have a hard time ignoring that kind of stuff. But I will say that my wife probably has more influence than Hank does, and she's trying to encourage me not to do it, because last year I ended up with a sciatic nerve problem and I still can't feel my left leg. So I'm just saying. But anyway, well, I actually can, but it's 5Ks. It's brutal for me anyway. The one thing I'd like to mention that we have coming up is a 2020 complete count census. You know, participating in the census is very important for all municipalities, and that's where a lot of federal funding comes from. And so everyone that resides in the city of Bethany needs to fill out the census so that we know who's here and so that we can get the federal funding that we need to do the things that we need to do. Also, I'd like to let everybody know that we have our first ADA Accessibility Committee meeting on October 29th that we are in the process of scheduling. Hopefully that happens. Excited to get this project moving down the road. Also, I had an idea that I wanted to throw out there for council and for the city manager of a possibility that we could possibly have a citizen budget board formed. We had several different committees and task force that were put together a couple years ago. One that was very successful was the cemetery task force that did a fantastic job. And I think that we could possibly do the same thing that would help staff and council and relay the message to the citizens with all transparency about the budget and financial situation going on from here on forward with the city of Bethany. I think may be a very positive thing. So if people are interested in that and we can figure out logistically kind of how to handle that, maybe that's something we'd like to pursue. Item 9 is new business. Do we have any new business? With no new business, I declare us adjourned until November 5th, 2019. I call to order the Bethany Public Works Authority. Item 1 is the consent docket, A and B. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please cast your votes.
All approved.
Item 2 is new business. Do we have new business? With no new business, I declare us adjourned until November 5th, 2019. I call to order the Bethany Hospital Trust. Item 1 is consent docket A and B. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please cast your votes.
All approved.
Item 2 is new business. Do we have any new business? With no new business, I declare us adjourned until November 5th, 2019. I call to order the Bethany Development Authority. Item 1 is the consent docket A and B. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please cast your votes.
All approved.
Item 2 is new business. Do we have any new business? With no new business, I declare us adjourned until November 5th, 2019. And with that, we are adjourned.